Can you see and hear me now? Audible, audible, audible. Mic testing. 1 2 3. अब तो audible है भाई. Good evening, Sneha. Yes, Kunal. Hi, Danish. Hi, Avinash. Hey, everybody. I'm here. How has the day been so far, guys? Bhavyanshi, hi. YouTube, Hardik. अच्छा सच सच बताओ कितने लोगों ने अब तक सैयारा देख ली है और कितने लोग मरे, कितने लोग बेहोश हुए, कितने लोगों ने उल्टियां की. मैंने इतनी गंदी रिव्यूज पढ़ी ना उस मूवी की कि मूवी बफ लाइक मी गॉट डीमोटिवेटेड कि नहीं भाई नहीं, मुझे तो नहीं देखना है. प्रोडक्टिव एंड हेक्टिक भव्यांशी. ओके, सेम हियर. प्रोडक्टिव एंड हेक्टिक. नहीं देखी. ओके, तुम गए थे हार्दिक देखने. माँ तुझे सलाम. मैंने तो रिव्यूज देख के ही छोड़ दिया. ना भाई ना, वो 500-700 रुपए में कोई और चीज में खर्च कर लूंगी. के जी सुमैया इज गुड. के जे सुमैया. भाग मिल्खा टाइप की मूवीज ओके. बायोपिक्स, आई एम नॉट अ बिग फैन ऑफ बायोपिक्स. Share something, Ritvik. Today I scored 39 in VARC for the first time and I really felt that your techniques really helped me a lot in this. अरे ऋत्विक, आपका ही नहीं है, बहुत लोगों का भ्रम होता है कि I scored so much in VARC, मैम it was because of you, your techniques. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. जितनी आप हार्ड वर्क डालोगे ना, इट्स डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू दैट. मेरा खाली आप सुनते हो ज्ञान, सुन करके उतना अप्लाई करना आपके ऊपर है ऋत्विक. आई कैन टेक अ हॉर्स टू वाटर, आई कैन मेक हिम ड्रिंक. एंटी सैयारा गैंग, सेम हियर मुगल सैफ. मतलब वो कबीर सिंह जो आया था ना, कबीर मूवी थी, कबीर सिंह जो भी था, उसके बाद ही मैंने कसम खा ली थी नो मोर रोमांटिक मूवीज. वो भी ऐसा हार्ड कोर रोमांस तो ना भाई ना. यहाँ तक हाथ जोड़ती हूँ ना. नहीं, ओटीटी में तो मैं वो देखूंगी, मेट्रो इन दिनों. वो भी आई थी ना हाल फिलहाल, उसकी अच्छी रिव्यूज सुने मैंने. अविनाश, डिसेंट मूवी किसको बोलते हो ये तो मैं नहीं जानती. Probably you are that hardcore romantic types. कबीर सिंह के डिसेंडेंट हो तुम डायरेक्टली तो. How many times can I take the same mock in iQuanta mock series? एक ही बार का रहता है भाई mock तो दानिश. Falling short in Parajumbles. बाकी have started doing well in VARC. Good ऋतिक खुराना. चले स्टार्ट करें. कूली आ रही है रजनीकांत सुपरस्टार ने. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर द डेविल वेयर्स प्राडा पार्ट 2. पार्ट 2 या सीक्वल जो भी बोलेंगे उसको. यस कुनाल, लेट्स स्टार्ट. पूजा टेल मी. वीआरसी के टीचर्स देख लिए, पढ़ के देख लिया. शुरुआत आपसे की थी, लास्ट में आकर आपके चैनल और आपके टीचिंग स्टाइल पसंद आया टीचर्स का. तो अरे ये आप कह रही हैं आपका बड़प्पन है. हाँ खुशी, टेल मी. लाइव सेशन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, वॉच्ड योर एडिटोरियल एनालिसिस, हेल्प्ड अ लॉट. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर सेइंग दैट खुशी कृष्णा, यू मेड माय डे. वॉर 2 स्क्रीन पे देखने कौन जाएगा स्नेहा. अब तो दुनिया में वॉर चारों तरफ वैसे ही हो रहा है. चले स्टार्ट करें. चिट चैट हमारी डन. निश्चल, वेयर वर यू yesterday? I kept calling out your name in the class. निश्चल कहाँ है, निश्चल कहाँ है. पूजा, आपको सूट करता है मेरा टीचिंग स्टाइल, दैट्स अनदर थिंग. मतलब आपका टीचिंग स्टाइल अच्छा है, अच्छा बुरा, हाँ मतलब सबका अच्छा ही होता है. इट्स जस्ट दैट किसको कौन सा सूट कर जाए. दैट्स गुड. बंजो बंजो यूनी. वाईफाई इशू था कल निश्चल का. Okay guys, everyone, let's start. टिक 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 टिक. पूछो मैं इतनी एक्साइटेड क्यों लग रही हूं. क्योंकि पैराजम्बल्स करने जा रहे हैं एंड आई थिंक पैराजम्बल्स आर बकवास. तो वो एक्साइटमेंट नहीं है, वो यू नो, घृणा भरा भरा एक्साइटमेंट है वो। बट चलो कोई नहीं, पीजेस कभी कभी हो जाते हैं ठीक ठाक। Some PJs are good, some are bad. I'll show you the techniques for pair formation, starting sentence कैसे ढूंढते हैं, ये सारी चीजें हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे। राइट पूजा, चिराग, श्रुति प्रसाद? यस यस श्रुति, जितने मेरे पास टेक्निक्स हैं, जो भी टिप्पणियां हैं, टिप्स एंड टिप्पणियां, सारे मैं दे दूंगी आपको, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट। बट पीजे is not always solvable. Okay, please accept that fact. Everybody has to accept that, and even teachers who say that no, all parajumbles can be solved, 100% accuracy is possible, they are faffing, I'm telling you. Because people have different writing styles. Cat will pick its paragraph, parajumble's paragraph, from anywhere. It can be an article, it can be a blog, it can be an editorial, it can be anything. These days anybody and everybody becomes authors, है ना? So किसका कैसा writing style है, we don't know. So sometimes there can be ambiguity in parajumbles, despite the fact that you are able to understand what the para is saying. Okay, so I'll give you a very practical scenario here. Please remember that and try to follow that. मतलब मान लो मेरी बात. If you do 3 parajumbles, there is a chance of getting 3 upon 3. If you do 5 parajumbles, you are likely to get 4 upon 5. If you do 7 parajumbles, you're likely to get 5 upon 7. If you do 10 parajumbles, you're likely to get 7 upon 10. This is the harsh truth of PJs. Got it? The MBA mentor, this video is super helpful. I'm sharing honest MBA reviews and tips for students with 70 to 90. Okay, would love. Okay, this video is super helpful. ये तू अपने वीडियो को बोल रहा भाई या मेरे वीडियो को बोल रहा, मेरी दुकान में बैठ करके? MBA mentor, thank you so much for coming to my पाठशाला, but then थोड़े सा हमारे बारे में भी चर्चा कर दो। आपके भरोसे हम भी थोड़े से फेमस हो जाएंगे। Okay, all right guys, sweethearts, ducklings, everybody, let's start now. So what are we doing today? What's the agenda? I have taken a few questions from CAT 2023. We are going to solve some PJs from there. Okay, I'll tell you the best practice resource is PJ PYQs. And please do not think that if you solve like 400 to 500 PJs, you're going to be perfect at PJs. No, it's not going to happen, I'm telling you. So be practical, be real. Okay, the best source for practice is PJ PYQs from 2017 to 2024. You will get, like, you know, every year in every sitting you've got 3 PJs, right? So you have like a lot of PJs you can practice from there. Okay guys, and please, once you are done with about 120 to 130 PJs, please reduce practice. You can even stop practice. The only thing that helps in PJs is reading, consistent reading. Understood guys? Everybody? Clear? Vedika? PJ. PJ is pajamas, PJ is poor joke, and PJ is parajumbles. Got it? Okay, so let's be real. All right, I'm taking you over to the first question now. 2023 questions. I told you techniques for pair formation and some common writing styles we are going to discuss. Okay, now this is question number 1. Everybody please focus. Sari chitiana batiana we can save for later. Whatever doubts you have, save for later. So let's get started with our rough sheet. Okay, come on guys, I'm giving you time. Yes Aryan, very much on time. We just started. Come on, guys. So Priyanshu says 4312. What about the others? We have to do only 4 to 5 questions. Zyada nahi. So just relax, chill, sit back and enjoy the session with me. In case some of you are wondering what this LHS RHS is, this is not a maths class. Obviously, this is just my rough sheet. What do? I throw my sentences there. This will be this side, this will be this side, and then eventually I bring them together to form a coherent paragraph. Hi Lakshmi Narayana, good evening. Alright, so 4123, 4312, okay. Ayushman 4123, Satya 4123, okay. 2 and 1 is a pair, okay. Algo. Despite their widespread impact, fixed AI biases, the impact of biased decisions is localized, okay. Don't you think such a question is going to take you at least 2 to 3 minutes? Everyone? Because the sentences are long. I don't see the Q words that should be here. Like, unless, however, in spite of, but, despite. I don't see the Q words there. This, these, kuch nahi hai. Right? You did this in 60 seconds, Sneha. Wow. This is what all the others have to learn. Okay? Now, first I'm going to give you the answer since you all have solved it by now. 4123. Okay? 4123. Sneha, what was your answer? Well done. Aryan, yeah, 60 seconds सुन के तो मैं भी चकरा गई. Now mind over matters did it in 1 second. इसीलिए कहते हैं mind को हमेशा matter के ऊपर रखो. 4123. Well done, Sneha. Well done, Pooja. Okay, chalo. I'll explain this to you now. Hang in there, everybody. Meenal. Today Meenal is not going to sleep because she got the first PJ right. Algo hosted on the internet are accessed by many, so biases, right, resulted in this. Though algorithmic bias is the popular term, the foundation of such bias. The popular term for what? Algorithmic bias is the popular term that is given to something, right? Yeah. So you need something general, like an overall generic kind of sentence, correct? Then you go down, you funnel it down to term. You agree with me? We can talk about paranoia, we can talk about fear. Then we funnel it down to hydrophobia or frigga trisca decaphobia. नहीं क्या था वो? ठहरो. Frigga triscae decaphobia, the fear of the number 13th on Friday. Okay, we can talk about acrophobia. ये मैं अपने phobias show off कर रही हूँ, 4-5 ही गिन के मुझे आते हैं. It's fun. Anyway, so what I'm saying is बड़ा, like generic, and then you bring it down. So here he says though algorithmic bias, right? Algorithmic bias. Yes, just for fun, I'm going to demonstrate that LHS, RHS, my rough sheet technique. So please pay attention, dudes. Algorithmic bias is the popular term. Funnel it down. Before that, you need some sentence that talks about biases, right? Here, bias decisions made by humans is localized something. So I will put 4 here, right? And I'm going to put 3 here. Ask me why. Because 3 has relatively easier to fix AI biases than this. This is talking about some solution. This is talking about how to break into it. Mind over matters, that is exactly what I'm doing. Okay? So I put 4 here. Look at my rough sheet, guys. You'll slowly learn. 4 comes here because it's a general sentence that talks about biases. The impact of biased decisions made by humans is localized, geographically confined. With the advent of AI, advent is introduction of AI, the impact of such decisions, Okay, done. It can be fixed this way. This is what my rough sheet looks like. Okay, now I have got 2, 1 or 1, 2, right? Obviously, you are going to move on to 1 and 2 and read. Read के बिना तो नहीं समझ में आना है, right? So though algorithmic bias is the popular term, the foundation of such bias is not in algo. Algo hosted on the internet are accessed by many, so biases resulted in a much larger impact affecting far larger groups of people, right? Now, if you put 2 over here, it sounds good, 4 and 2. Why? Because here you talk about biases, bias decisions, and then you go and say algorithmic bias is the popular term, right? So if you put 4 and 2, that's fine, and you get 3 here, but can you put 1 here? Does it break the flow? This is what you have to see, right? Have resulted in much larger impact adversely affecting far larger groups of people. Do you see here the impact? Everybody. The impact of such decisions is spread. This part over here, the last part of this long sentence, is explained in detail in the next sentence. That is what we call explanation technique. Do you get my point? So 4 and 1 is a good pair based on explanation technique. What is being explained? This part. The impact of such decisions spread over a much wider scale. How? Oh, they are accessed by many. So biases have resulted in larger impact adversely. This. Cool. Then he comes down to this. What's the term given? Algorithmic bias. And then how are we going to fix it? So 4 and 1 I get here. 2 obviously moves here. 3 talks about fix. So we get this. Is it clear, everyone, now? Why 4, 1, 2, 3? Done? Yes? Okay. आप कह रहे हो yes तो ठीक है, मान लिया मैंने yes. Let's move on. Next one please, question 2. Question and question. You can apply the question answer technique. Hi Rahul, good to see you. Come on guys. Four, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Shoaib. 4, 3, 1, 2, Nishchal says. Okay. Meenal. Maybe का कोई scope नहीं होता है CAT में Meenal. You have to give me one final answer. Theta में भी लिखना तो पड़ेगा ना, one final. Aryan says 4, 1, 2, 3. Sujal 4, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Ranu. Okay, चलिए पहले तो answer 4, 1, 2, 3. How many of you got this correct? 4 and 1 is a very good pair. I'll explain how. Okay. Yes. Ronit, I'm here for that. I'll give you this Gyan point here, Sneha and everyone else. Please remember this Gyan point for the other questions that you may come across. Aryan, good to see you. Now, there is something called question answer technique. What do we do in this, Nishchal? We take a question, we start the paragraph with a question mark wala question, okay? Then what do? We answer it, okay? Just 2 or 3 days back, I remember I was teaching in my paid class. One moderate level Parajumble was there. It was about taxpayers. What does the country do to expand the tax base? What should it do? Something of that sort, okay? There were 2 questions. So what we generally do is, if there are 2 questions, we put both the questions together. Okay, this is how generally authors write. We put both the questions together and then we go on to answer. Okay, if there is only one question, you put the question and then you answer. There is, okay, so this is technique 1, this is technique 2. There is technique 3 that says you can first give a statement. From here you can take a word, then you can frame a question on that, and then you can give the answer. Do you get my point, everybody? I'll repeat. If there are 2 questions, as was in this case, you put both the questions together. I'll tell you how. Then you answer. Okay? Answer मैं सब में mark कर रही हूँ यहाँ पर. Answer. If there is one question, you ask the question, then you answer. If there is a statement, you can give a statement, take out one word from there, frame a question on that, and then give the answer. Clear, Rahul? Now, in this case, we were dealing with this, right? रोनित क्या पूछ रहा है? मेरे तो बियॉन्ड है मैम. क्वेश्चन आंसर नहीं हो सकता. इफ नॉट वाई. कैसे बताऊं मैं? ये मुझे एक जन्म और लेना पड़ेगा तेरा क्वेश्चन समझने के लिए. क्वेश्चन टू मच ऑफ अ हैवी क्वेश्चन. चलिए, सो इन दिस केस इट्स दिस वन. करेक्ट शोएब? टेक्निक 1. ऑल राइट. टेक्निक 3 कैसे है शोएब? वी आर स्टार्टिंग द पैराग्राफ विद अ क्वेश्चन. There is one question here, one question here. 2 questions. यहाँ देख लो ये. And then we give the final answer. समझ में आई मेरी बात? Right? Oh, question answer ये बोल रहा है वो. Hang in there. Question answer like this. No. Generally paragraphs are not written like that. Did you understand, Rohit? Yes, Kaushik, it can be helpful for IBPS because they also give you PJs. The only difference is in IBPS you get all bank related, economy related PJs. They are superbly ugly, even uglier than this. Ronit, you understood? Rohit, Ronit, whoever asked. Okay, I'll take you back to this now. Please pay attention, guys. Why will we put 4-1? Why not 1-4? That is my question here. Shoaib. 1-4, 4-1. Why not 1-4? Can anyone point it out to me? Sneha, second technique was one question and then answer. Tell me, Biswal. Exactly, Biswal. 2 to 3 questions can be there and then the author goes on to explain in detail. Very good, Siddhant Mishra. I love you for that. Very good. General to specific we follow between 4 and 1. You see my point? General to specific. Why are crimes, perpetual re-examination? Okay, general topic, general thing. Then he funnels it down to unusual elements. What are the unusual elements that make a particular case so attractive? Based on general to specific technique, we get 4-1 and not 1-4. Following the question answer technique, we know that 4-1 will start the para. Clear, Mughal Saif and Shoaib Ahmed? So far so good. We have applied the techniques. Now comes the big question, dudes. 3, 2, 2, 3. Right? Yeah? What? Now let's check 3 and 2. It might be a particularly savage or unfathomable level of wickedness. Unusual elements पूछा इसने. Unusual elements explained here. Unfathomable, unmeasurable level of wickedness. कोई इतना भी wicked हो सकता है. This is what he's saying. A particularly savage, wild, or unfathomable, unmeasurable level of wickedness. Very often it has something to do with the precise amount of mystery involved. Unusual elements, okay, being explained in detail. Correct? So 1 and 2 is a very good pair based on explanation technique. Done. 3 comes in the end as a conclusion. Unsolved and perhaps unsolvable cases offer something, ordinary murder doesn't, comes as a conclusion in the end. That's it. Even if you're not able to place 3, you can get 4, 1 and then 1 and 2. So when you place 4, 1, 2, you can see acha 3 to na as a conclusion can go in the end. Some people can think 3 will come here. No. Generally in question answer technique in paragraphs, you start with the question and you go on to this. Otherwise, Sneha, based on technique 3, Shoaib and Mughal Saif, if we had to apply technique 3, how would it have been? I'll show you here. It could have been like this. Dekho, unsolved and perhaps unsolvable cases offer something that ordinary murder doesn't. You start with 3. Okay. Then the question would be, next the question would say, what exactly is ordinary? How do you define ordinary murder? What is it about ordinary murder that actually charms people? You get it? So you take something from here and you frame a question that way. That's why 3 cannot come here, because that is not the technique that's followed here. Got it, everybody? Sneha, I think you should learn some techniques for pair formation. Cool. That's why 4, 1, 2, 3 is good. It's justified. I have explained everything in detail. Please note down these points. Piyush Singh, no worries at all. Tell you next. Come on. For those of you who are trying to learn the rough sheet, however, I put 3 here on the border. Yes, Vedika, border. You see this theme. I am very much interested in knowing which theme. Shoaib says 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Contemporary African writing like the bottled leopard. Capital T, capital B, capital L. So obviously this is the name of a book or movie or journal or something, right? Voices this theme. Which theme? using two children and two backgrounds to juxtapose varying cultures. So one is an example of what? I'm going to apply theory example technique over here. Theory example technique. What do you say? Hmm. 2-1 is a pair. Okay, chalo. 4-3-1-2. Everybody should have got this, that it will start with 4. Correct? Western Christian concepts tend to deny or pretend that they don't know about the existence of a genuine and enduring indigenous African tradition. Oh, seriously? Oh, there are some people who live in the wilderness of Africa. Oh my God. Oh, really? They have these traditions? How primitive is that? Seriously? So they pretend as if they don't know. They are like, from one sophisticated world and they don't know about these indigenous people in Africa. Correct? They tend to deny or feign ignorance. Right? However, their views, whose views, concepts, correct, contradict the reality. So they feign ignorance, but their views are not correct. They contradict the reality because this 4 means because. Because a rich and sustaining local culture exists something. So 4 and 3 is a very neat pair. Sahi nikla. Correct, Aryan? I like that. Then I can put 2 over here. You get this? This is my structure on my rough sheet. 4, 3 and 2. Right? Because 4, 3, these two come together and then he says Chuku Chukumuku explores the conflict and casts the Western tradition as condescending and enveloping. You can't put 4, 2, 3. You agree with me? Because after 2, you can't say however their views contradict. Before there, you need something plural. Plural is concepts. So 4 and 3 is a brilliant pair and then you put 2 here. Right? Hai na? Where does 1 go? 1 can go here or here. Hai na Rohit? Chukumuku kharab kar gaya. So 1 can go in here or here. What does 1 say? Contemporary African writing voices this theme using 2 children juxtaposing 2 varying cultures. Now, tell me one thing, if I put 1 here, juxtaposing 2 cultures, Chukumuku is not showing 2 cultures. No, Chukumuku is kind of exploring the conflict and showing that tum jo ho ghamandi ho. Western culture, you are ghamandi, you are arrogant and you are looking down your nose at these primitive people. So, bottle leopard is showing you 2 themes, 2 cultures. So, by this is an example of this. For a rich and sustaining local African culture ethos exists for all who care to see and experience. Ye exist karta hai. Oh, how? Please explain it to me. Oh, look at the example of the bottle leopard. Whatever book it is, it shows this theme. और मूवी है, 2 बच्चे और 2 बैकग्राउंड दिखा रहा है तो मूवी है. नहीं, राइटिंग बोला है इसने यार, राइटिंग है तो बुक है. 2 backgrounds to juxtapose this. So this is not an example of what Chukumuku is doing. This is an example of how this exists as a rich culture. अब वो चाहे केकड़े खाते हैं, सांप खाते हैं, केकड़े के सामने डांस करते हैं, सुबह उठ करके पेड़ पे चढ़ते हैं, whatever they do, they have got a rich culture, their own heritage. And they exist, right? So this rich experience is being explained here with the help of an example. That's why it's 4, 3, 1, 2, but the first structure that I get is 4, 3 and 2. Then I try to insert 1 here or here. Clear hai sabko? Right? So, this. Got it, Piyush? Okay, guys, we are done with this. Sorted. Move on. Chaliye. I think 5 questions, so this is the penultimate one. मेरा फोन ना 4% पे है, आप सॉल्व करो, मैं जब तक इसको यहाँ पे प्लग इन करती हूँ। भाई बहुत मुश्किल है, किसी ना किसी का चार्ज खत्म ही होता रहता है हर वक्त। लैपटॉप नहीं तो ये, नहीं तो लाइट। शिवम पांडे, आई विल एक्सप्लेन डैंगलिंग मॉडिफायर टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द सेशन। अभी आप ये कर लो। हाँ राहुल, इसीलिए मेरी तबीयत भी खराब है, आज जुकाम है ना। और चलाओ फोन, और चलाओ फोन, सही कह रहे हो तुम। ओके रोनित, व्हाट आर यू सेइंग? 4213। चलो भाई आंसर दो। क्या सबका आज 4213 टाइप से? इसका भी था राइट? नहीं 4312 था। ओके ओके, सो are there any keywords? Human brain, nonetheless. Ah, I like this. 3 comes here. Okay. ऐसा लग रहा है ना 4 से स्टार्ट होना चाहिए। Emergent property of the human brain. Do you see this? Emergent property. I like this point. You know, I'm so used to this looking for explanation. I mean, applying the explanation technique, that I always start looking for that. Emergent property of the human brain. Can it be explained in another sentence? And then here you talk about neuron. Okay, so neuron तो definitely goes somewhere on the right hand side है ना, here. अब 3 यहाँ है कि यहाँ है, we don't know. 4132, haha. Got it? Let me see if this is justified. If it's not justified, I'll tell you कि भाई I don't agree with it. Let's check it out this way. So one line here. All right. So 4 starts it. Very cool. Very clear. No single neuron like self-awareness, hope or pride. Okay. I'll keep 1 this side. Neuron. Okay. Nonetheless, the sum of all neurons. एक न्यूरॉन नहीं पकड़ता है. However, the sum of all neurons generate complex human emotions. So 1 and 3 is a very nice pair. अगर 1 and 3 नहीं मिला तो फिर क्या मिला दुनिया में? चुल्लू भर पानी में डूबोगे, मैं भेजूं या खुद ले लोगे पानी? रोनित गुडलानी, 1 and 3 everyone should have got. ये कह रहा है like the ants, no single neuron, one neuron can't hold complex information. अरे लेकिन रुको, sum of all neurons can hold emotions and complex information. Right? So 1 and 3 तो आ गया 4. This is my structure. Now what I generally do, what I always do यही, I look for the odd one, मतलब जो sentence बचा है. 2 comes here or 2 comes here. What does it say? Although the human brain is not yet understood enough to identify the mechanism by which emergence functions, ये देख लो, most neurobiologists agree that complex interconnections give rise to qualities that belong only to the whole. This is implication, how it applies to the modern world. Now I have to give you a ज्ञान point here. Okay, सुन लो आप पहले ये बात. I'm writing this here for everybody's benefit. हाँ, एक बात सुनो. Sentence 4 starts it. Emergent property of the human brain. You could have explained this here. Although the human brain is not yet understood enough to identify the mechanism by this, only till here. from here to here. You can just cut this. The human brain is not yet understood to identify, then it could have been 4 and 2. Do you see my point now? Why? Because this part from here to here explains this. Right? Human consciousness, emergent property of the human brain. Human brain is not yet understood enough. कौन सा है उसमें consciousness है, नहीं है, cognition है, नहीं है, emotions है, limbic है, whatever it is we don't know. So it's like, not enough to identify. But here we have the entire sentence. And the entire sentence gives you some implication. It says this. Most neurobiologists agree that complex interconnections among the parts give rise to this. So you know what is happening here? I'll tell you very clearly now. The flow. Human consciousness, you come up with this. Then he says, one neuron can't do it. Oh, but all neurons can do it, right? All neurons can do it. What can they do? They can hold complex information. Then he comes up with the conclusion and says, this complex information, the interconnections, how they, conclusion. So it's 4132. You get it? Everyone? ठीक है? Just for fun, कैसा सवाल है? पूछ रहा है ये LHS RHS में क्या रखते हैं? अंडे रखते हैं. तब से मैं करके तो दिखा रही हूँ सारे आपको स्टेप्स. चलो लास्ट क्वेश्चन. ये तो इजी वाला है भाई. इसमें गलती की ना तो मैं वर्चुअल चपेड़ मार दूंगी सबके. Full name goes here. Her vision goes here. फेंको खाली sentences and then bring them together. E-waste, I don't know where this goes. She plans to build, she. 4 also comes this side. इतना structure आया. 2, 4, 4, 2, you decide. Do you see this? This problem. Arre, where is this problem? What problem? So you guys are getting 3, 1, 4, 2. Okay. 3, 1, 4, 2, Meenal. Seriously. Oh wow, this was easy. PYQ. So if you get this kind of a question, please do it. और यहाँ पे दिख रहा है this is like with Q words. Q words इनको बोलते हैं. Q. They can be transition words, conclusion words, assertion words, कुछ भी हो सकता है. So e-waste problem, right? Problem comes here. This says this problem. Which problem? So 3 में problem है, right? And then you've got 2, 4 or 4, 2. So Veena Sahajwala solving this problem. Then you apply generic to specific. Beautifully you can apply that here. First she will build micro factories, right? And then you come down to this valuable metals, ceramics. Sorry, 3 क्यों बोल रही हूँ मैं यार? Sorry, 4 में you bring in the general thing. She plans to build micro factories. And then automated drones, robots pick out components. Specific, this is 3 वाला, 3 नहीं भाई, micro factories. Generic. Got it everybody? So generic to specific, apply kiya, got it. Sneha, clear? Excuse me. There are 2 Snehas right now, Sneha Das and Sneha 0512. डन। ओ एक और है, सॉरी, ये भी कर लो, चलो। हाँ, जुकाम हो रहा है और चलाओ फोन। ना ना सुजल गोस्वामी, हैप्पी एंडिंग नहीं है, there's one more. This can turn the tables. I love this question. Hope you get it correct. What do you say? Aryan 2431. Biswal 2431. अच्छा. Okay, Biswal. Vedika. I explained how it can be used, so you still remember that, Biswal? I won't like it if you tell me that you remember the answer. No, that won't make me happy. But if you say that you remember the technique and that's why you're able to solve it again, it'll make me happy. Centuries later. Industrial era. You see this? Yeah. Arey zabardast, nice. We follow chronology in this, or time sequence. Okay. Centuries later, formal learning is still mostly based on reading. So one comes somewhere here. Centuries later, ab, right? This is what he's saying. Ab ka. Film, radio, television. Okay. Impacts of the printing press. Was a complex this, and it was not until the industrial era that the concept of universal literacy took root. So industrial era, not until the industrial era. Somewhere here, I'll keep it here. I'm not sure kahan jayega wo. Immediate and recognizable impacts of the printing press was on how people learned. Scribal culture involved listening. Do you see this point? This connects me back to that Homer era, Homer, when people did not have script. They would kind of, just ratify, learn it by rote and then pass it down to people. Memorization was paramount. I would like to put it here because that was like long back. Homer, memorization. Okay, 3 comes somewhere here, I'm not sure. And 1 is here, that's for sure. Centuries later, fast forward to today. This is my structure. Where will 4 go? 4, 4, 4. 4 comes here or 4 comes here. The printing press shifted the learning process. So the printing press did something. Printing press came in here, right? And printing press did something. Did something, right? Here. Printing press came. Gutenberg ka printing press. This cat has given in short summary, in RC और जाने कहाँ कहाँ. So it did something. फिर 3 में the transformation of learners from listeners to readers. ये ना, ये shifted the learning process. Okay, reading and learning. After this comes. So 2, 4, 3, 1. Done. Yes, Nishchal, storytelling to pass information. Are we done, dudes? Clear? Naare lagao. We want more questions. We want more questions. Next session में लाऊंगी. We were almost out of time. चले? Pack up for the night. मीनल वोरा तुम ऑड वन आउट अवॉइड करना, पीजे अवॉइड करना, पैरा कंप्लीशन अवॉइड करना. तुम ना खाली यानी बचेगा तुम्हारे पास आरसी एंड शॉर्ट समरीज. हाँ, ऐसा क्लोज्ड माइंड मत रखो मीनल टुवर्ड्स पीजे. समटाइम्स क्या, इनफैक्ट ऑफन इट हैपेंस दैट पीजेस आर गुड इन कैट विथ पेयर्स. तो देख लेना, अगर एक नजर में आपको लगता है दैट पीजेस आर गुड, गो अहेड एंड सॉल्व देम. Thank you, Nishchal, for saying that. Dangling modifier, Shivam. Okay. Shivam, dangling modifier is part of grammar. देखो शिवम, एक सेंटेंस दे रही हूं यहां पे. Walking in the park, a snake bit the old man. चलो ये बताओ मुझे शिवम यहां पे who was walking in the park? शिवम जी. थैंक यू स्तुति, बाय बाय. शिवम पांडे, who was walking? Old man, correct? But the sentence gives this feeling, or it gives this vibe that the snake was walking. Snake was out for its evening walk. चल भाई स्नेक नहीं, मैं घूम करके आता हूं बाहर, मेरे जॉगर शूज कहाँ हैं. और सामने में ओल्ड मैन दिखा, स्नेक ने उसको हल्के में ले लिया, काट दिया. Actually walking कौन कर रहा है? The old man was walking, right? So this part of the sentence does not contain the subject. Where is the subject, bhai? Nahi hai. So what is the rule, Shivam? The rule says if you start a sentence with ing form of the verb and if the subject is not nearby, you need to put the subject right after the comma. ठीक है? Now based on this rule, Shivam Pandey, rephrase the sentence. ना साहिल, पीजे टीटा होता है, no negative marks. बोलो पांडे जी. यार निष्कर्ष, then you are in the wrong class. I will never guide you on how to solve all 24 questions. That's like chasing rainbows. Walking in the park. Yes. The old man was bitten by a snake. Got it? ठीक है? Biswal and Pandey. That is what we call dangling modifiers. I'll give you another example. Assembling the furniture, TV was watched by me. कौन असेंबल कर रहा था? टीवी असेंबल कर रहा था. Sahil Bhatia, I appeared for CAT twice, 2013 and 2014. Both the times Indore was the host, and both the times only in VARC I got 99 point something. Once it was 3 and the next time it was 5, I think. Only VARC. बाकी दोनों तो मतलब मैंने सिर्फ D किया था. That was it. Because I just wanted to check प्रेशर कैसा होता है VARC का. That's it. अब टेस्ट देने की क्षमता रहने गई है, हम दिलवाते हैं. टेस्ट अब लोगों से। ओके नहीं, वाव की भी बात नहीं है साहिल, ये मैं पढ़ाती हूँ, दिस इज सपोज टू बी माई फोर्टे। तो अब अगर मेरा नहीं आएगा तो, या अगर आ गया मेरा, तो इसमें कौन सी ऐसी बड़ी बात है, समझ रहे हो? 99 प्लस अगर आता है एजुकेटर्स का, इट्स ओके। बट साहिल अगेन, समटाइम्स थिंग्स कैन गो साउथ, ऐसा भी हो सकता है that an educator may score something like 95, 96, हो सकता है। That doesn't prove कि हाँ भाई उस बंदे ने सही से, मतलब you know he can't teach, ऐसा नहीं है। नहीं आयुष्मान, assembling the furniture I was की जरूरत नहीं है, I watched TV। या क्लियर? ये होता है डांगलिंग मॉडिफाइड, डोंगलिंग कह रही हूं। पांडे जी, इज इट क्लियर नाउ? शिवम पांडे। हाँ साहिल, रिस्पेक्ट तो चलो ठीक है, जिंदगी में थोड़ी बहुत रिस्पेक्ट मिल ही जाती है इधर उधर से, कहीं कहीं से। ठीक है शिवम पांडे जी, और कुछ है पूछना बताइए मुझे, मैं यही हूं। वीआरसी से रिलेटेड कुछ भी चाहो पूछ सकते हो आप, उम्मीद है आता होगा मुझे। प्लेजर शिवम, आई एम ग्लैड आई कुड बी ऑफ सम हेल्प टू यू। स्नेहा समझ गई, ओके। पैकअप हुआ करें, मिलते हैं कल। Yes, Ayushman, you just need to modify one part. You can also say this way, while I was assembling the furniture, I watched TV. बोलने को बोल सकते हो, उसमें क्या है? ओके चलो, मेरा फोन देख लो, चार्ज पे लगा हुआ, मैं हाथ में पकड़ के ऐसे तब से कर रही हूँ, हाथ दुख गया है मेरा, अब तो जाने दो मुझे। See you all again. Bye bye. Take care guys.